Hey guys, in today's video, I want to talk with you about how to price your photography. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Heather and I am from thebookedphotographer.com. Every single Tuesday, I put out content to help photographers like you book their ideal clients and grow their photography businesses. So if you are a brand new photographer or if you've been around in the industry for a while and you want to become fully booked, definitely click that subscribe button below. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about money, which I know is one of the hardest things that we deal with as photographers. It is definitely something that I have struggled with in the past, and many of the photographers that I work with on a daily basis struggle with this too. Maybe you are listening to me right now and you feel guilty about charging for your photography. Maybe you wonder whether or not you're even worth the price. Maybe you even have a hard time just even talking about prices and conveying your value to potential clients. Or maybe you have a dozen different price lists floating around and you're still not confident in any one of them. In fact, this is just such a huge problem for photographers across the board that 60% of photographers give up in their first year in business. And that's because they do not know how to financially sustain their business. And in the second year of business, another 25% of photographers will fail. They'll close up their studio because they are not making the amount of money that they need to in order to stay in business. Did you hear that? In total, that's 85% of photographers will give up within the first 2 years of their business because they are not priced properly and they're not able to sustain their business over the long haul. I do not want that to be you. In fact, I believe that you can make a wonderful living from photography, even if you're in an area that is absolutely saturated. I'm actually proof of that. I've been running my photography business full time for 8 years now, and I have no plan of stopping. But let's talk about you. If you're watching this, then I'm guessing that you're asking questions like, how much should my sessions be? How much should I charge for an 8x10? Is my work even good enough to charge? How do I even know when I'm ready to charge? Should I include all the digitals or should I offer products? And so many other questions that are probably floating around in your head. But I want to suggest to you that these are entirely the wrong questions to ask. At least they're the wrong questions to ask first. Let me go ahead and explain what I mean. What you charge is entirely dependent upon your goals, your specific goals. So unless you define what your financial goals are, what your version of a successful photography business looks like to you, you will not have a clue as to what to charge. And I also see so many photographers pick their pricing arbitrarily. They just pick some random numbers based off of what other photographers are doing or just because it might sound good. And when you pick numbers out of thin air like that, you are not setting yourself or your business up for success. The biggest question that you have to ask yourself and that you have to ask yourself first when it comes to pricing your photography is, how much do you want to make? For right now, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing or what other photographers are charging down the road. You have first got to define, what does a successful photography business look like to you financially? Think about it. You are putting so much of your time, your energy, your effort into your photography. You're investing in new gear, maybe presets, or your website, or educational programs, and so forth. It costs money to run your business. You have to factor in all of that cost. And also you have to factor in taxes. You have to be setting aside a portion of your income for taxes as well. And please do not forget to pay yourself. You are working so many hours in any given day or week, and your time is valuable. So figure out what your personal expenses are and what you would like photography to cover for you. Maybe you simply just want to contribute an extra few $100s to your family at the end of every single month. Or maybe you're trying to replace your full-time pay with photography. The point is that you have to make sure you're clear on whatever those numbers are so that you're actually setting up your pricing to actually achieve your version of success. So let's go ahead and walk through an example. I think this will really help hit the point home. Let's say that you decide that you'd be really happy at making $2,000 every single month for your photography. You're going to set aside $1,000 for your actual cost of running a business and taxes, and then you decide to pay yourself $1,000 every single month. So now that we know that your goal is to make $2,000 every single month, and that covers all of your expenses, the next question that you need to ask yourself is, how much do I want to, or how much am I able to photograph every single month? Now, the answer to this question is going to vary a lot depending on what's happening in your life right now. Maybe you are trying to balance out photography with another full-time day job and you only have time to photograph on the weekends. Or maybe you have young kids at home and they absolutely need your attention, so you need to be home more often than not. So be realistic here and set a specific number of shoots or weddings that you can comfortably handle every single month without neglecting your other responsibilities. Back to our example though, if you need to book 5 sessions a month, you need to price them at $400 each in order to reach your goal of $2,000 per month of photography income. Now, you can do this in a variety of different ways. You can offer your entire session for $400 and include all the digital images. Or you can offer a smaller session fee and sell prints and products and digitals separately. And that's exactly what I do. I don't have enough time to go into all the ins and outs of pricing actual products in this video, but if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing in another video, a future video, definitely let me know in the comments section below. Okay, so I have one more question to ask you, and this is a big question. You might already be asking it yourself. This final question to ask yourself is, do I believe my work is worth the price? Now, this is a very personal question, and it's very subjective as well, but I want you to know that the numbers do not lie. If you've done the math correctly, you now know exactly what you need to charge for each session or each wedding in order to reach your monthly income goal. But now that you're actually seeing your numbers and seeing what you need to charge for a session or a wedding, you might be feeling a little bit anxious. You might wonder if your work is really there. Is it really worth that amount? In our example, you might be asking, are my sessions really worth $400 each? And you know what? For right now, the answer to that question might be no, and that's totally okay. Now that you know exactly what numbers you need to hit to reach your goal, keep practicing so that you can eventually confidently charge what you need to reach your income goals. If your answer to that last question is no, there's a few other things that you can consider doing. Option number 1 is to get another job or to stay in your current job until your sales averages cover what you need to make. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with working another job or a side hustle so that you can be building up a really great foundation for your photography business. The first year that I was in business, this was the year after I lost my steady day job, I actually photographed for another wedding company. They were able to book me up with so many weddings that entire first year in business, and it was so beneficial for me. Here's why. I knew exactly how much money I was making because I was subcontracted under them. And that, helped me alleviate a lot of the financial stress that I was feeling. It also allowed me to work on building up my photography skills and also my portfolio. It gave me many opportunities to work on off-camera flash and to network with other wedding vendors. My point is that there's absolutely nothing wrong if for the time being you need to get another part-time or full-time job until your business and also your confidence level gets to where it needs to be in order so that you can financially sustain your business. Now, another option you might consider if you do not believe your work is yet worth the price that you need to charge is to simply offer gift vouchers or model calls. Now, this is essentially where you keep your prices where you need to be, but you offer some sort of a savings to clients to incentivize them to book. So the client is getting some sort of a savings while you're also getting the opportunity to build your portfolio and skill level. Okay, so here is a quick recap. If you are wondering how to price your photography, these are the 3 questions that you have to ask yourself first. Number 1, how much money do I want to make every single month? Be sure to include all of your business expenses, a portion of that for taxes, and any personal expenses that you want your photography to cover. Question number 2 is, how much am I able to photograph every single month? And then you simply do the math. And finally, question number 3 is my work worth that price point? And if not, that's okay. Keep practicing, keep building up your skill level until you can confidently charge what you need to. So now I would absolutely love to hear from you. Share your answers to those 3 questions I just asked in the comments section below. Also, if you have any other photography or business related questions, go ahead and write that below and I just might answer your question in a future video. So if you like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you soon.